Hey folks, Jeff here from HigherTrustMarketing.com and InfoMarketerZone.com. Thanks for joining us today. A powerful video for you today. I think it's going to be very impactful on your own business. These are principles that we've learned from the years we've run our own businesses and also helped literally hundreds of others run their businesses through our coaching programs and through our InfoMarketerZone.com, as well as all the outreach, the list building and the newsletters and blogs that we operate. We found pretty consistently, if you're sitting there today asking the question, I want to start my own business, but how am I going to be successful in a competitive market over someone else who seems to have more experience? They seem to maybe have a longer history of doing it. They may come from an entrepreneurial background. It seems like they've got other things going for them. So how are you going to be successful? Or if you're someone who has sort of launched their own business, started out, but maybe hasn't had the level of success, you haven't been able to break through at this point, I think this information is going to be really, really useful for you to understand how can you get to that next level. Okay, so let's go through the principles. The first principle is really about adding value. And, the first point to be made on this is make sure that you focus on adding value to a given market before you start thinking about how do I make a profit, right? And it's not that you don't have to think commercially, that you're out there as a charity, that your desire is not to make money. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that profit follows value. So if you deliver value into a given marketplace, you will have a much higher capacity to earn profit and make money. You'll have a lot more people coming to you. You'll have a lower cost of sales. You'll have a lot more people valuing what you have, and you will have them spreading your particular value proposition through word of mouth. So all good things and all necessary aspects of doing business. So focusing on the value before the profit. And it goes with it saying the more value you offer, the greater the profit. So when you're thinking about your business, think, what can I offer to the marketplace that is tremendously valuable to them? Now, what is value? Understanding value and what it means to win big is pretty critical, because the first point to make on value is it's not what you value, it's what your market values. And interestingly enough, inside InfoMarketerZone.com, you'll find a report inside there where we did a very detailed study on what perception of value really means in a given marketplace. It's sort of the psychology of why people buy, the influence, and why people see something as valuable or not. And interestingly enough, it's often it's very often not what the entrepreneur or the business owner thinks it is. You or I may know our marketplace very well. We may know a level of a certain market, a certain level of information, have a certain level of expertise, or have certain preconceived ideas of what a market needs, wants, or desires. But often it's not the case. It's not a perfect match. And so we need to dig in and find out what is the real value proposition within that marketplace. Once you sort of put your preconceptions on hold and go in and really look and see what is the market telling me they want, not just the people themselves, but by their buying activity, their commercial activity, what types of outcomes are they actually buying, then suddenly things start to make a whole lot more sense. And we put our finger on the value proposition. From that point, you can really break through in your business. Okay, so we've worked with many clients inside InfoMarketerZone.com where they had a course, they had a seminar, they had a business, maybe a consulting business, professional services business, where they figured that their entire business was based on their conception of what value they were offering to the customer. The problem was they were sort of 50-50. They were missing 50% of the value proposition because they weren't willing to go in and really put their own preconceived notions on hold and look into that marketplace. So that's a big part of it, is understanding what value is. And in many cases, value might be just simplification. It may be simplifying the process, the set of steps. If it's a tangible product, it might be simplifying the message that educates them to that product or allows them to buy it and get it delivered. Simplification's a big one. Or it may demand that you drill deeper into a specific area because there just isn't enough information or enough supported information for them to make use of it in that space. So the concept of value is a very important one. It can be a little complicated, but certainly We help with that within infomarketerzone.com. Principle number 2, study the past. So once you understand what the value is, you want to really study and learn from the past. Now, what I don't mean is, I don't mean live in the past. I don't mean that do what someone else has done. What you want to do, though, is look and see what has happened in the past, what has come before you. So who are the real leaders in the marketplace? What are they selling? What are the main messages? What has worked for them? What hasn't worked for them? And if you've got a history yourself of publishing content maybe, or participating in a given marketplace, really sit down and think, just separate a piece of paper or a word processing sheet and write down what has worked and what hasn't in your given marketplace. What's good about it, and know what isn't good about it, right? What sucked? Because every market has these. And so, what's missing the mark, what's hitting the mark. You can look at comments. You can look at comments of blogs, comments Amazon.com. If you're into information products, especially teaching, learning, educating, informational-based products, there's a lot of information out there you can glean from the interactive sites that you get. Social networking, you can see what people value, what they don't, and what they think worked and what they don't feel worked. And then from there, what you need to be able to do is evolve, innovate, improve, and of course commit to a given delivery vehicle for that market. Now, what this principle is really doing is you're learning from the past in order to design your unique solution, your unique value proposition in line with the principles that have worked in the past, but that give you something different, that give you something new, that allow you to take it to market with your own stamp on it and allow you to differentiate in highly competitive markets. Okay, and that allows you to dominate the market. So evolving, innovating, that could mean going one step further than someone has gone before. It could mean taking a step back and either contradicting what someone has done or simplifying what someone has done, reshape it, deliver it in a different way. It could mean add some additional value through examples or case studies. That could be your innovation. Lots of different ways to evolve, innovate, and improve on existing products out there. Okay, and then principle number 3, this one's an important one, and it's the one that I think everyone intuitively knows, but not many people are able to get over the hump and out-execute and out-hustle their other competition. This is the differentiator. A lot of people have ideas. A lot of people have knowledge. A lot of people have, ideas and conceptions of what business they'll run. But frankly, 99% of the people just aren't willing to put the time in to out-execute and out-hustle the competition. So how do you get there? Well, you set clear objectives, first of all, so that you're not scattered. If I've heard it, the common problem when people come into infomarketerzone.com is they're not committed to one specific direction. So they don't have clear objectives. They have objectives in a dozen different areas, and on any given day, they're off in one direction, and they get distracted the next day and off in another direction, and you don't see any kind of, concrete returns. You don't meet your expectations, so you lose interest and focus in one area. You start in another area. Maybe then you take a couple of weeks off because just things aren't working out for you, and then you start all over again, and you get into that vicious cycle. So what you want to be able to do is, based on the first 2 principles, which is identification of value, and then learning and creating your own unique value proposition, is you want to set those as clear objectives, and then understand the big why. Why is it that you must absolutely have to succeed in your business? What is it that is so important that you cannot fail with this? And it has to be at that level. If you don't have that level, you're not going to have the motivation to execute and out-hustle your competition. Okay, so you've got to have that amazing why. Maybe it's, some people's why is they never, ever, 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 ever want to be controlled by someone else's schedule, someone else's control. They've been in bad jobs. They've been in bad career situations where they've lost out, and they just refuse to ever go back to being, employed by someone again. And so that might be the big why. For other people, they're in a spot in their life where it's a major transition. There's a relationship has broken, someone is ill, they've lost their job, or they've lost their career, their source of income, or they're so deeply in debt that they're facing a crisis in their life, and maybe that's your overwhelming why. Another one might be just you've reached a point in your life where you want to you feel like maybe this is your last chance to hit your true potential. And maybe you've been operating all this time under the radar and you want to show the world what you have. So it becomes a must that you succeed at running your own business. And when I say that, the urgency doesn't, it shouldn't be desperation. It shouldn't be that I need to show results in a month's time. What it needs to be is an utter commitment to make it work over the long term, over the medium and long term. However long it takes, you will out-execute, out-hustle, and win at this game. And that's really what needs to drive you. You have to know and realize that execution is the difference maker. It is. It's the single most important difference maker. And anyone who has reached the top levels, and we've worked with a lot of those people, they will tell you this. They will tell you that they might have toiled for 10, 15 years. And if they had one thing to change is they would have gone back and just tried harder and out-executed, out-committed earlier on in their career, because they've now realized that is the difference maker. Okay. And focus, which comes down to, setting clear objectives, staying on a course, learn from the challenges, look at challenges and setbacks as mandatory stepping stones towards your ultimate success in whatever it is you achieve in life. Don't look at them as negatives. Don't take them personally. Don't take them as a step back. And if you do, try and keep that to a few minutes of feeling sorry for yourself and then move to the next stage, which is, how do I learn from that? What has it taught me? How do I use that to get ahead? That is what people that win in business do. Their setbacks are almost planned to a degree, and they've learned to deal with them, and it will become easier as well over time as you experience 1, 2, 3 setbacks. All of a sudden they just become turbulence on an airplane or bumps in a road. Okay, and most of all, have fun. If you're not having fun in your business, it's pretty unlikely that you're going to be able to stick with it, out-execute and out-hustle your competition for the months and years to come. Okay, that's how you get there. These are the clear principles. This one's all about making that idea, that value proposition that you see so clearly in your mind, making sure that it becomes real in your life. So to summarize, to succeed, you need to be able to combine ideas that add value, right? A deep knowledge of your market and learnings from your market, with a drive and execution with proven plans and mentorship. So 3 out of the 4 we've talked about here today, and you can get on your own. The 4th one is the proven plans and mentorship. And that's what we provide within infomarketerzone.com. We invite you to come over and take a look there for sure, but do realize that at some point you need to have those first 3. Now, we can help you get there if you don't feel you can get there on your own, or you haven't quite figured it out yet. Or if you come to a plan and a mentorship with those pieces already in place, you can drive success very, very quickly. So we offer a 6-week fast start program inside infomarketerzone.com for getting a business online up and running quickly. And it's all about, it does sprinkle some of this in there because it's essential and we get our people started right. But if you hit the ground running, you can progress much quicker than even the 6 weeks. All right. So hope that was useful. These are the key principles that we've experienced firsthand and within, all the people that we have successfully coached over time. These are not theoretical. These are real principles. And so I hope they were helpful for your business. Apply them to your business no matter what you do at the end of this video. All right. Thanks for now. And if you haven't viewed this over at our blog, it's highertrustmarketing.com/blog. That's where all the fun takes place. That's where we produce these videos and lots of other information. We invite you to head over there now. Make sure that you subscribe to that blog and catch our next video. Until next time, bye-bye for now.